Recently, in the news of our country, Kenya, we received very sensitive news in our country during these times of COVID-19, this month of July, whereby it was noted and reported that close to 4,000 young girls of ages 19 and below have been impregnated. This indeed rose very serious question that led to questions pertaining sexuality and the youth. These great questions arose when different personalities started to battle about this question. Some indeed rejecting the findings, others doubting the numbers, and others even brushing away the numbers. The question is not about the numbers. The question is about the reality of the fact that this is indeed a very sensitive question to be addressed in our modern life and in our modern times. But the question raises also a very important question again, the question of those unanswered questions that the young people of our time address themselves and they seek for answers. Some of these questions that they seek for answers, they also wonder who is responsible for giving them these great questions. And young people always ask themselves, when is the right time to embrace sex education? Who should teach us? When? Where? How? So that they may be able to address their challenges as they advance in age. And so this raises this question, and we really say sexuality is a very, very sensitive question to be addressed to the young people of our time. It is indeed, and indeed should be, numbered among the very, very essential determining factor of a human growth as it grows to maturity. He has to take this as a very pertinent part of his growth, and it is, has to be, because it really affects the character formation, personality formation, the attitudes and mental processes of development. It is really indeed a very, very sensitive factor when we are growing. And so to address it, we need to answer a few questions. Number one, we must be able to understand that God created man and woman. In Genesis chapter 1, verse 27, God created man and woman. And so sexuality defines that man and woman were created. And God created them as good. And so we say the gift of sexuality is indeed a gift from God, and it is indeed good. But then it also helps us to determine the fact that God has created us in His image and likeness. And this image and likeness must also be based on a foundation of the divine teaching of the why of creating and giving us that gift. And indeed, we declare it is because of passing life to the next generation. Indeed, what we call procreation. It is basic and meant basically for that. And so anything that goes towards achieving that goal of God is that which should be emphasized and taught. Anything else, because that also is the basis of the love between a husband and wife, two who have been joined together and who are really given the authority, the mandate, and the gift of sexuality by God, so as to continue the procreation process, continue creation process of God. And this then also brings us to the question of really understanding the meaning now of why this development and growth should be taken with a lot of seriousness and orientation. And any education that is based or focused into sexuality, sex education, must be based on that kind of a foundation, the divine mandate of God towards man and a woman. But because again, sexuality is all about the holistic growth of a human person, of the young people, and how they should embrace this growth. And as they mature, they are able to, understand themselves, who they are, their behaviors, their orientations towards, and their responsibilities towards the opposite sex. This kind of a growth, this kind of development needs to be, taken with a lot of conscience, and it should be directed towards God. And anything that is against that, then we bring the attention of sin, because any sexual act that breaks the totality of human love towards one another, founded on the mandate of procreation by God of man and woman, then begets the question of sin. And sin is when now that inner harmony of either the male or the female, the man or the woman, the inner harmony is disturbed, and then there is the injury of the dignity of one another, and again also kind of leading to selfish satisfaction. When you talk of, it's only aimed at an end that is selfish, satisfaction of selfish needs. And they did again also the question of breaking the command of God, either also abusing one another like you experience in the moment of rape. This is indeed causes the question of a sin. And then this sex education has to be based on that kind of a basis of morality, and that akin also the divine revelation about the sacredness of this gift that God has really given us. And so the right evaluation of sexuality demands, first of all, the firm acceptance of one's sexuality and development, knowledge of the power and the inner dynamics of it, and indeed again the dangers that force reception, and also a place of of substituting, or rather, sublimation of these sexual powers and knowledge that the youth of our time have to understand. Really saying that sex education should be geared towards a young person able to understand himself, appreciate the gender that God has given her, either a boy or a girl, embrace and understand the developmental changes that are being experienced in his or her body, a blessing and loving them, and then, glorifying God with them in the right kind of dimension. So then again, since this is a process, it is maturing is a process, it's an integral process that does not just come that it is progressive. Then it takes place gradually and in different spheres of growth, from babyhood, childhood, adolescence, young adult as one grows to a holistic a person. Then the question of the teachers who need to impart this knowledge comes in, and there is when the church has a responsibility, the family, parents, father and mother have a responsibility, and the government also has a responsibility, because then this responsibility has to be geared towards God, this being recognized as a gift, and then also understanding the God's command, not breaking the sixth commandment that God has given us. And so also helping that person to uphold his dignity as a human person, respect of his body as the temple of the Holy Spirit. And so this education thus should offer an assistance needed by young people and answer their questions as they raise as they grow towards maturity. This is because the right honoring of sexuality is the key to entire human formation. When we order our young people well sexually and understanding of themselves in the true of who they are, then other forms of development, will be based on such a good foundation. And that's we need to indeed reject any teacher who teaches anything outside that, anything outside foundation of God in terms of respect of the human dignity, respect and upholding the commandment of God, and then also using our bodies as the temple of the Holy Spirit. Today, more than ever before, we have teachers or false teaching that is coming to us, the young people, through the mass media, through technology, through media, whereby they are able to access pornographic materials, they are able to access champions of, immoral acts, and also orientations that are not, founded, or rather, which are not godly, and also orienting them towards things like abortion, contraceptives, homosexual acts, lesbianism, and forgetting the fact that the underlying principle should be the fear of committing the sin, and then respect of the self, and offering ourselves as a gift to God. That when that is lost, anyone who kind of influences young people, sexuality in that dimension, that should be rejected and need to emphasize on the development of values for the young people who are really indeed growing. They need to be trained in values and also the fact of supplementation of their sexual drive. Supplementation is about, redirecting their sexual impulse to other positive uh, works, or rather what I may call purposes, or positive human purposes, like games, productive manual work, assisting at home, working and assisting at home, even assisting at the church, clearing the compound, cleaning up, and many activities that will, utilize that energy productively. And this is not about suppressing, but it's supplementation, using those energies and diverting them to positive work, and creating or embracing values and values in their life, so that they are capable of appreciating and loving themselves, and appreciating themselves as a gift of God, and then leading this gift of God and advancing it to the vocation that God has called them, advancing it to matrimony, where now they will be able to choose a partner at the right time, and then they are able to express their gifts, their sacred gift, to one another intimately, and for that particular one partner, and express the love of God that they have been given as a gift. And for the celebrate, take the same gift and give it as a gift to God in celebrate's life as a moment to the church as priests, religious men and women. And with this, we are going to be answering a very, very, very serious question. Why are we seeing many young teenagers getting pregnant? If only they can be able to fear sin, understand themselves as a gift, and also those that surround them appreciate the gift that they are, take care of them as a precious gift from God, and grow them, educate them, help them to get the answers that they are seeking from the right people by words and actions, role models, good models, parents who they are at home. They are not only telling them, but they are only living also that life, of appreciating this as a precious and special gift. So the question, why are we finding many young girls getting pregnant, lies in the question, are we truly giving the right sex education? Do we still have the right sex educators? Are we building our young people to values that they must respect themselves and respect the God's gift of who they are? Then combined with all that, this basic question will be answered. And indeed, as we continue to battle with the corona pandemic, this again is a pandemic whereby wrong teachers have given wrong instructions and we have seen destruction. But still we have a chance. The church has a chance. Parents have a chance. And the government also has a chance. But most of all, the young people have also a chance to choose the right teachers and embrace the right information from the right teachers. Then they grow towards a holistic maturity of respect of God, fear of sin, and then respect of human self, human dignity as a precious gift from God. It is indeed a very, very sensitive and serious question to answer. But it is very, very important to think about sexuality and the young people. You are our now and the future church. Take care of yourselves. May God bless you as you reflect about the good teacher of sex education. Thank you, Father Zeno.